Good afternoon, super friends, and welcome to the Monday, December 15th edition of the Sacred News and Weather. I'm delighted to have you here, and I'm going to probably give you another quickie today because I boxed myself into, oh no, it's almost time to pick up the kids. And I'm all bundled up because, yes, it's cold out, but also I've been doing energy work all day, which makes me very cold. Not sure what the physics are of that, but if you've hung around with me back at my retreat last week, everybody was like, "Can we open a door? Can we open a window?" And I'm like, "Sure, that's fine." So I'm feeling a little bit of that now. It's been a busy day. All right, so without any further ado, since I'm in a little bit of a push here, I'm going to give you my preamble, which is take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I am in the business of taking people out of the boxes that they put themselves into, so don't try and fit yourself into one here today. These messages are timeless. So if you're tuning in today, December 15th, or later in the week, or later in the year, or later in the millennia, well, good for you. Good for me if it's still around. Anyway, if you're tuning in, there's probably going to be something for you here. All right. So, way back at about 5 o'clock this morning, I heard whispered in my left ear, grace over hustle. Grace over hustle. And it didn't feel like a message just for Dana. I have a cat who's scratching my chair. It felt like a message for all of us. And so I'm just going to start there with the idea of giving yourself grace, allowing yourself to rest back. There's a leaning back energy that wants to happen rather than a pressing forward. What I'm seeing is actually, I could probably pull it up here because I just had my retreat. So I have tools. So this is the Judaic Tree of Life, for those of you who don't know it. And here at the heart, right here, Tiferet, which is the heart of the tree, it is also the heart of your tree. We have this triangle here. And what I am seeing sometimes, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I see it out in the world a lot, is this energy of this triangle of your sacral chakra, of Yesod, of creativity, of fertility, of sexuality, but also wounded child, also healthy, healed parent energy, and your heart energy sort of folding up and being really pointy and driving our energy out into the world. Like, I have an agenda. Now, if it's a heart-centered agenda and you are moving forward with a heart-centered agenda, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But given the context of grace over hustle in my meditation this morning, I'm feeling like we actually want to like pull those triangles back and get your heart energy all the way into your heart energy and get your sacral chakra energy all the way back in, your yesod energy all the way back in, so that you're not this like pointing, driving, like, this is my agenda, this is what I want, this is how we're going to do it. Energy out in the world. We're being invited to just reel it back in, to lean back and to surrender. And the images like dissolve that energy of hustle. And this could mean in the workplace. This could also be, I mean, this, I feel like there's so many different threads based on all of the beautiful humans who are contributing their energy to this collective. There's the thread of work and productivity at work and that end of the year, end of the quarter, push, 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 and I'm exhausted. And I can see where the push, like culturally, the push is desirable. It's the end of the quarter. We're going toward goals. We've got to reach these goals. Push, 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 push. But what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling is relaxing back and trusting that you are going to get to where you need to go to, whether that is a financial goal or something less tangible than a financial goal, more like a feeling of success, like a more esoteric feeling of like I did the thing, I'm accomplished, I am satisfied with who I am. The feeling is that you are actually going to reach that abundance. You're going to reach that feeling of that embodied feeling of success. You're going to reach that feeling that you desire much more easily if you take your pointiness out of the equation and return everything into alignment and allow yourself to lean back and be held. Be held by, I hear, by what? Somebody was like, by what? What's going to hold me, Dana? Well, it depends upon what your belief system is. In my belief system, I like to tell my clients, I like to tell myself, okay, it's time to lean back into the loving arms of the universe. Lean back into the loving arms of the divine, of spirit, of universe. But it can also be lean back into the loving arms of your highest self, of yourself without all the wounding, without all the stories, your soul self, your whole self, yourself without all of the shit that gets in the way of being your true, embodied, relaxed, healthful self and makes you want to lean forward and drive. We've been talking about that snake energy, and that snake energy is really an invitation to slow down and shed and be and it's this feels like more of that flavor, more of the flavor of reminding you that we are not actually meant to be pushing right now here in the energy of winter, here as the days get longer and or as the nights get longer and the days get shorter, as the light is dissipating and we come into this place of darkness and stillness. We are not meant to be pushing agendas forward. This also feels true in relationship and romantic relationship and familial relationship. There's an invitation again to just pull your energy all the way back in and then move from an aligned place so that there's no agenda, there's no pushing forward, there's no like Uncle Bob is going to listen to my truth this Christmas Eve, whether he likes it or not. But I know my truth. Uncle Bob's going to have his, and I am just going to be. And whether or not it is meant to come forward, it's not going to come forward like this. It's going to come forward from a heart-centered, embodied place. The same can be said for romantic relationships. Whether you've been in relationship for the last 30 years or you're just beginning something new, there's an invitation to just be inside of your heart, inside of your being, and to lean back and move from that place again, rather than this folded over triangular I'm coming at you. It's so normal and so cultured, especially in the swipe and the um like fast text messages and messages going through, and are we going to meet today? Are we going to meet tomorrow? When are we meeting? Da, da, da. Like I can just feel that like are we? And it's like no, no, we're not, because nothing actually gets built sturdily and healthfully on the are we what's what on that frequency. True foundations, true. I'm also seeing like scaffolding, like let me see if I can hone in on the image. I'm seeing two things. I'm seeing like a tree, like the trunk of a tree, of a healthy tree. But I'm also seeing like scaffolding being built up around it, which tells me that some of you are working on a much more long-term relationship. So some of you are in marriages, some of you are in lengthy partnerships where you already have roots established, you have a tree established, but I can see where scaffolding is being built. And if I follow the scaffolding up, it's coming up into the upper levels of the tree, which tells me that you are it's actually quite beautiful. The feeling is that you are building scaffolding so that you can both come into this higher way, this elevated way of being with one another. But there still is that sort of rat race feeling to it. Like, and if we don't attain enlightenment by Tuesday, like we're failing. Sorry, there was a big truck coming down the road with a big bang, which is why I paused there for a minute. If we don't attain enlightenment by Tuesday, we are failing. And I just want to like slow everything down. Like, great, build the scaffolding, build it layer by layer, climb layer by layer, explore each layer. But there doesn't need to be that feeling of da 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 da. We got to get up here. We got to get up here. We got to get up here. Just let it build. It's going to build. And that's very much a frequency here today. It's one of success. It's one of actually like the feeling in the whole YouTube collective right now, my YouTube collective, is whatever you are building right now, whatever you are working toward success. I don't have a feeling of gloom and doom, which given the year that this country has had, this planet has had, um, it's kind of amazing that I don't have that feeling, but I really don't have a feeling of gloom and doom in this container. I'm really very much feeling this feeling of moving toward success with the invitation of trusting that you're moving toward success and not trying to force, not trying to rat race, not trying to push, but really leaning back and trusting that the path that you are on is a path of success. And if there's a point where you need to pivot or shift, it's in the leaning back that you will be able to recognize that. Because when we're driving forward at such speed, we often don't have time to notice that we should have hit the brakes back there. And so we don't pivot, we keep barreling forward. And then we get to this place where we're so far in that it's almost like we feel it's never too late to turn back, but or to shift, but we almost feel like, oh, well, I've gotten this far. I just have to keep going. And this is how we get down pathways that we were never really meant to go down in the first place, but we didn't slow down long enough to listen to our soul self. We didn't slow down long enough to listen to our hearts. But again, that's not actually the vibration in here right now. It's more of an example of why I'm inviting you to lean back into being held and moving forward from this place of success is inevitable, because it very much feels that way here today. There's more, and I'm just trying to pick up all of the images. So the flavor or the feeling is that if you, and this word keeps coming up in here, it's come up now in my earth and ether container as well, this feeling of neutrality. If, let's see if I can figure out how to say this succinctly without giving you a 20-minute lecture. So Spirit wants for you what you desire most. But we have a lot of noise that can sometimes get in the way of actually holding that belief as true, holding that frequency as the truth, that Spirit wants for me what I desire most. And so what we end up doing is, rather than holding that belief and holding it in a neutral, this is truth, this is just holy universal truth, we go to this place, and I've talked about it here before, of plan B. Like, plan A is that I just get to lean back and trust that I am meant to succeed on this path. But I'm human, and so I don't trust that. And so what happens if I fail? Well, if I fail, this will happen, or this will happen, or this will happen. And we automatically drop the energy of, I am going to succeed. And we start giving our energy to all of these other plans or all these other frequencies, the frequencies of what if. And so, what I'm hearing right now is that what is basically what if spirit, God, divine, your highest self wants for you just the most beautiful outcome, the most beautiful outcome of your fourth quarter, the most beautiful outcome of your work in the world, the most beautiful outcome for your family dinner on Christmas Eve, the most beautiful outcome for your marriage, the most beautiful outcome for this new relationship. What if God, spirit, divinity, your highest self, your inner knowingness is actually totally, utterly, and completely on your side? And what if we self sabotage by trying to what if our way out of that plan? Well, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And in doing so, in doing that what ifing, we like drop the dream. It's just like, and then that path that we were on, that beautiful path toward creating the lives of our dreams, gets dropped down to a lower vibration, dropped down to a lower frequency, completely accidentally because we were trying to protect ourselves. Our nervous systems were trying to protect us from loving big, from going for it, whatever it is. And so the law of attraction, folks, which I'm not particularly one of them, and I have my reasons. Someday I'll talk about it, I'm sure. But they will tell you that your the way that you manifest is to hold this frequency of this big thing is going to happen. But it doesn't take into account the fact that we're human and our old stories and our old wounds creep into that. I'm holding the vision for the biggest dream possible. And each time that little lower frequency vibration sneaks in, we go whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. There's a lot of sounds today. There's a lot of sounds and there's a lot of dropping. I don't know. Going with it. What we are being invited to do, and again, I'm repeating myself from the last few times, I feel like, with this word neutrality, rather than trying to hold something up here when we know that our nervous systems are going to be pulling on us to what if in the wrong direction and dropping us out of the frequency of success. We're being invited to hold the frequency of neutrality, of really leaning back, of really resting, of really trusting yourself, trusting your highest self, trusting the divine, trusting spirit, trusting whatever, whoever, however it is that you can let go of control and trust that what you want wants you. And I think that's where I'm going to leave us today. All right. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to look at the time. I nailed it. Awesome. I have time to get my kids and I won't be late. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below. The more you interact with me, the more the YouTube algorithm finds me and puts me out to other people in the world. And this is what I desire. And I'm all about asking for what I desire. So, yeah, you should be all about asking for what you desire as well. I will see you all on